Hi, I'm Justin with Ocean Vayu Yoga. Thanks for joining us today. If you're new to our channel, welcome. And if you've been with us before, of course, welcome back. Today's practice is going to primarily focus on our shoulders, although we'll also get into our wrists and hands and forearms a bit, and probably the chest and the low back a touch as well. Before we get into the practice today, if you haven't already done so, down in the bottom corner there is a little red box with a mandala in it. If you click on that, that'll get you subscribed to our channel, which will gain you a little bit easier access to more content like this. If you've already done that, you're awesome. We really do appreciate it. So thank you. Some things you might want to have handy for today's practice are either a blanket or a towel, something you can fold up that you might want to use for some cushion or support at any point during the practice. Another thing might be a strap or a belt or an old necktie. Again, you might not need or want to use either of those, but can't hurt to have them nearby. So like every yoga practice, we want to develop or continue to cultivate a really strong connection to our breath. The postures are fantastic all on their own, but you can really get into the good stuff when tying the postures to the breathing. So to that end, we're going to begin just by taking a minute or so to quietly sit and focus on our breath. And then we'll get into the movements of the practice. So just find a comfortable seated position for yourself. Crossed legs is great. If that's not comfortable for you, then obviously that would not be great. So find a comfortable position. We'll let our spine get a little bit taller than it might otherwise be. You can have your eyes open or closed for this. There's really no right or wrong. And we're going to just begin to turn our awareness to our breath. How does it feel to breathe? What are the things we notice most about how it feels to breathe for ourselves within our bodies today? We don't need to change anything about how we're breathing at this point. Just turning an eye towards the sensations of the breath. We can take the opportunity now to begin to lengthen out our inhales and gently lengthen out our exhales as well. Nothing strained, just a slightly slower and deeper breath. If you had your eyes closed, you can gently open them. If they're already opened, then you're ahead of the curve. So we're going to warm up our body from this seated position here. If you need to rearrange your legs at any point, feel free to do so. So we're going to start by just taking a nice deep breath in, feeling our ribs lifting away from the hips a little bit. We're just going to walk the hands forward. When you feel like you're starting to disconnect from your foundation, the sit bones are starting to lift, it's a good indication to stop coming forward. Take a deep breath in, and then just let the body soften over the legs. Bring our awareness to our breath, and just let the sensations unfold as they will over the course of the few breaths that will be here. Nothing forced. And with our inhale, we'll walk the hands back in, helping bring ourselves back upright here. And we'll exhale once we're back to a neutral position. And open up the sides of the body by walking the left hand out to the side. If you feel like you start to disconnect over to the side, again, stop moving to the side. Make sure we keep our foundation, plant the left hand, reach the right arm up and over. And focus on our breath. You can gaze up towards the hand that's in the air if that's comfortable for you, or you can gaze down or outward. Doesn't really matter as long as your gaze is steady and your breath stays smooth and even. And with our next inhale, we'll rise up, and exhale, lower the arm. We'll take a breath in here, and with our exhale, walk the right hands out, plant the palm, reach the left arm up. And again, you can gaze up towards the palm, you can gaze outward, downward. Just bring your awareness back to your breath. And keep the breath steady and smooth. And with our next inhale, we'll rise up. And exhale, lower the arm. I'm going to twist here. We're going to start by twisting to the right. We're going to take the right hand behind, left arm across. Maybe the hand connects to the leg. We want to feel the spine lifting as we're twisting here. So we're picturing something like a corkscrew, that sort of upward spiraling movement. And if it's comfortable, you can bring the gaze back over the right shoulder. If that causes any stress or tension in the neck or shoulders, just don't turn your head so far. And again, always bringing your awareness back to the breath. And with our inhale, we'll come back to center. We'll exhale and pause here. Take another breath in. With our exhale, we're twisting to the left, left arm behind, right arm across. Again, the spine is lifting as we're twisting. And if comfortable, continuing that rotation as we bring the gaze back over the left shoulder. And just keeping the breath smooth and even. And with our inhale, we'll come back to center. Exhaling, relaxing there. We're going to take the hands behind the back. We're going to walk the hands behind the hips a few inches. If you'd like a little bonus extra stretch into the forearms, point your fingers forward. If you'd like a little less of that, point them to the sides or maybe even out behind you. We're going to lean back into the palms. Then we're going to push forward and up through the center of the chest and maybe raising the gaze. We don't want to collapse into the back of the neck here though. So if we're looking up, think about lengthening through the front side of the body, not collapsing into the back side of the body. And just focus on your breath. One more full breath in and out. With the next inhale, we'll come to a neutral position. Good. We're going to kind of roll the shoulders a little bit to loosen them up a bit more. So it doesn't matter which direction we start rolling them in. Just have some slow, deliberate movements. Just bringing the shoulders up to the ears, dropping them down, pulling them back, rotating them forward. 2 more rounds in whatever direction you happen to be going. And then when you get to the shoulders by the ears, change directions. So if you were rolling forward, we'll start rolling backward. If you were rolling backward, we'll roll forward. And just keep the breath smooth and even the whole time. And 2 more in this direction. Stop with the arms up, and then let the shoulders drop down. Take a breath in and raise the shoulders to the ears, and with the exhale, let the shoulders drop down. We'll do that again. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, dropping down. One more time. Inhale. And with the exhale, the shoulders drop down. You're going to inhale, reach the arms out to the side. The palms are going to be facing down here. With an inhale, our next inhale, we're going to flip the palms, reach the arms up, gaze up. With our exhale, we're going to lower the arms to about shoulder height, palms face down. Flip the palms, inhale, reach the arms up. And with the exhale, hands to shoulder height, palms down. Flipping the palms, reaching the arms up, gazing up. And slowly bringing the hands down with the exhale to shoulder height. Flipping the palms, reaching up with the inhale, and with the exhale, coming back down. One more time. Flip the palms, reach up. This time we're going to interlace the fingers, flip the palms upward towards the ceiling, and we're going to hold here, feeling a lift up through the entire length of the spine, keeping the breath steady. You can gaze upward if you like. You can just gaze to a more neutral point without looking up. Just keep reaching up, pushing up. One more full breath in. And with the exhale, slowly bring the arms down to shoulder height, palms face down. We're just going to flip the palms up to help drop the shoulders away from the ears, and then we're going to flip them back to face the floor. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. So think about reaching out through the fingertips here rather than trying to lift up on the arms, which can sometimes get the shoulders bunched up by the ears. Just bring your awareness back to your breath. Keep the breath smooth and steady. Three more breaths here. Nice full breath in and out. And again, inhale, exhale. And one more time, inhale, and exhale. Slowly let the arms come down, nice and slow. And you can kind of wiggle out the shoulders, little circles, whatever helps you feel like they're releasing. So we're going to work the hands a little bit here as we give the shoulders a bit of a break. So what we want to do is take our hands, we're going to slowly close the fingers in to make a gentle fist, and then we're going to really focus on extending the hands open here. So we're going to make soft fists and then open the hands with intention. And we're going to do this for about a solid minute. Just gently making fists and then opening the hands. Gentle fist, open the hands. The hands are always kind of grabbing something, right? Depending on what you do all day long. If you're like me, blow glass, then you're turning pipes and punties, or flame working, turning tubes and rods. I'm always grabbing and turning something. So maybe if you're working with screwdrivers, hammers, pliers, kneading bread, whatever it is, we're all doing something with our hands. And the hands, of course, were meant to grip and grab. So we're usually coming in this way, kind of over developing the one side. So we want to focus on stretching and opening up the other side. So we're just going to keep going, really intentionally spreading the fingers out. Gentle fists, spreading the fingers. Just a couple more. Good. And bring the hands and arms down. And you didn't have to have your hands up here, by the way. You could have been doing that down here. I don't know why I didn't say that. Wherever it would have been comfortable. If you do this one again, put your arms where it feels good. Okay, we're going to make our way onto all fours here. So what we want to do is start it with having the hands kind of right underneath the shoulders and the knees more or less underneath the hips. We're going to stretch out our forearms here. And to do that, what we're going to do is walk the hands back closer to the knees, and we're going to turn the fingers to face back toward our knees. You could do this stretch with the hands out underneath the shoulders, but it gets pretty intense pretty quick. So it can be a little more forgiving by bringing the hands in closer to the knees. And get the fingers kind of right near the knees. Then we're going to take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, we're going to start to sink the hips towards the heels. So wherever you happen to get to, if you're hovering, you're hovering. If you don't want to hover and you're not getting to your heels, the aforementioned blanket or towel would be fantastic back between your calves and your hamstrings. If you get all the way back, that's fine too. It doesn't really matter how deeply this looks to be from the outside. You will know when you get to that place. And if you're here with the fingers by the knees and you're not really feeling so much into the hands, you just walk the hands out further away and sink back, and you will, I'm sure, find the place where things start talking to you. So during this whole process, we're just really focusing on our breath. One more full breath in and out. We're going to come up before releasing the hands here. So we're taking that tension off. Bring the hands out in front. Hands are coming kind of right back underneath the shoulders just to give them a little break. Then we're going to turn the palms to face up. And you can do the same stretch with the hands out here underneath the shoulders, or again, sort of the little kinder version to yourself is to bring the hands a little bit closer in and then start to sink back, heels coming, hips coming towards heels. And again, the towel, the blanket, something for support if you end up hovering. And just focus on the breath. This is like every other yoga practice, meant to be felt from the inside out without a whole lot of emphasis placed on what this might look like from the outside in. So if you're not feeling that you are coming down far enough because it doesn't look a certain way, then you need to just turn that eye inward. How does it feel within your body here? Focus on your breath, and it's not about enduring pain. We should have sensation. Might not be the most comfortable sensation, but it should not be painful. If it's painful, just come out of this, or any posture. We're going to again come up off of our heels first, then take the hands out, slowly release them, bring them down, walk the hands out in front, come to all fours, kind of dig the fingertips down into the mat just for a moment to activate the hands. And then we're going to sink back the hips towards the heels. You can stay in this position if it's comfortable for you for the next few postures here, or if this is not comfortable, use the blanket or just sit with crossed legs. It's really not that important that you're sitting up on the shins here. If you are, great, you get a nice stretch into your quadriceps here and the tops of the feet as well. We're going to come back to our shoulders here. So what we want to do is bring our arms out in front of us. We're going to take the right arm underneath the left. We're going to bend at the elbows and bring the arms together. I'm going to turn this way so you get a better shot of this. So the arms are out in front, right arm underneath the left, bending both arms. When you bring the hands together or the arms together, it might just be the backs of the hands that touch. That's fine. If you can get them to come around more, you might get the palms to connect. Either way, doesn't matter. What we're going to do is raise the arms up, whatever amount. If you'd like, you can raise the gaze. You don't have to. Going to keep a slight engagement, a slight lifting through the lower abdomen, and a really strong focus on our breath. And then coming out of this, we're going to let the arms come down. And then we're going to unravel the arms, but keep them close to one another so that when they come undone, we've got the elbows and forearms connecting, palms connecting. Take a deep breath in. With our exhale, turn the palms out to the sides and slowly start to push the arms out. When they get all the way out, take a deep breath in. With the exhale, one more push, like we're pushing a wall away from us to either side. And then the exhale, we'll let the arms slowly drop down to the sides. Take a breath, and then we'll come into the other side. So we'll bring the arms out in front, left arm coming underneath the right. right? And bending both elbows, bringing the arms together. Maybe backs of the hands touch, maybe the arms intertwine a bit more and the palms touch, and not so important how much. We're gonna then raise the arms up with an inhale, maybe raising the gaze, maybe not, keeping that slight lift in the lower abdomen, and of course, a steady awareness of our breath. And then as we come down, lower the arms a touch, start to unravel. Again, the arms are going to stay in near each other. Forearms and elbows and palms will connect. Take a full breath in. With the exhale, we begin to turn the palms out to the side, and then slowly, like we're pushing through molasses or honey, reaching the arms out. When they get out, full breath in. One more push out to the sides. And then with our next exhale, slowly let the arms come down by the sides. Great. Take a breath here. If you need or want to rearrange your legs, go for it. If you're on your shins and you want to get a stretch into your feet here, you can come up onto the toes. You don't have to do that, but it's an option. You can, of course, just be cross-legged. That's also an option. So this is where having a strap or a belt or a tie might be handy for you. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn this way so you can catch a view of this. We're going to take our left arm up and the right arm behind. If you have the strap, it's going to be held in the left hand. We're going to drop the left arm down to our shoulder with the palm facing out, palm facing in. We're going to sweep the right arm up the back with the palm facing out. And then we're going to grab a hold of the strap if that's what's accessible for us, maybe walking the hands in either direction along the strap toward the center. Or if you don't need the strap, then we'll just hold onto hands here, right? And then once we are in position, we're going to lift the chest and raise the gaze. If lifting the chest and raising the gaze is not happening for you, that's fine. It doesn't take away any of the benefit of the posture. Keep that same slight lifting through the lower abdomen and that same smooth, steady breath. One more. Good. And releasing from this, we're going to slide the right hand down the back and the left hand just kind of right over the shoulder, so it ends up coming down to the chest. And the hands will come right by the sides. We'll just take a breath here with the arms relaxed. And then we'll head to the other side. So if you are using a strap or a belt, put that into your right hand. The right arm will come up, left arm comes up the back with the palm facing out. The right hand will come down. The palm will either face in or you'll be holding onto that strap or belt. And then walk the hands closer together. Maybe they hold one another, maybe not. And then we're going to lift the chest and raise the gaze. Two more breaths. And one more. And then as we release, I'm going to slide the left hand down the back, the right hand up right over the shoulder, down the chest, down the side, both hands to the sides. Take a breath in and out. If you happen to be up on your toes that whole time there, it's be a fantastic time to come out. And coming out of that, what you'd want to do is just slowly lean your weight forward and then put the tops of the feet back down. we're going to come back to all fours here. So again, we want the hands kind of underneath the shoulders with the knees more or less underneath the hips. Then we're going to open up the chest a little bit here. We're going to put a little compression into the back of the shoulder joints. We're going to walk the hands forward here, coming into Anahatasana. And then we're going to start to let the chest sink down towards the floor. So maybe the forehead will come down, maybe the chin will come down to the floor of the mat. If this is overly intense, just grab the blanket, slide that right underneath you here so you've got something to land on, sort of effectively bringing the floor up to you. And we're going to tune right back into our breath and see how things might unfold again over the course of the breaths that will be here. Keep that slight lift in the lower abdomen, just so that we're supported through our low back. Good. And what we're going to do is let the elbows come out to the side a little bit, and then start to draw the elbows back. We're going to, little by little, walk the arms back, and then sink the hips down towards the heels. We're going to come right into child's pose here. So we want to let the upper body just drape over the legs. If it's uncomfortable having the legs together, you can separate the knees a bit here. So let the body soften. You can have the arms out in front, or if it helps you release the arms and shoulders, bring the arms back by the sides with the palms face up. Whatever it is that suits you, just stay focused on your breath as you let the body soften. We'll start to kind of open up the low back a little bit. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands back out in front if they were not out there the whole time. We're going to bring ourselves forward and just come to lay down on our stomach and chest here. We're going to kind of work our back muscles a bit here. So we want to strengthen out the low back a bit in these postures. So what we're going to do is locust pose. We're going to do this in stages. So initially, with an inhale, we're just going to lift the chest away from the mat. You can have the hands just kind of loosely touching the mat here, right by the sides. And just keep a steady focus on the breath. You don't have to be lifted terribly high up. Just feel that you're using the muscles of your back here. One more breath in. And with the exhale, we'll lower it down. You can choose one cheek to lay down onto the mat. You don't have to. You could do your chin or your forehead down if that's preferable for you. Let the body soften. And then we'll bring the head back to a more central gazing point or central alignment. We're going to do just the legs here. So with an inhale, we're going to try to lift the legs off of the mat. We want to point the toes back behind us. But again, we don't have to be lifted particularly high. We want length here. We want to be reaching out through the toes, keeping the breath steady. And 2 more breaths here. And with the exhale, lower the legs slowly, so we're not slamming the feet down. Turn the other cheek if you were placing a cheek down. Let the body soften. Stay with the breath. And then one more time, we'll come back to a more central alignment here. And we're going to do both the upper and the lower body here, just in case you didn't see that coming. So here we go. With an inhale, we lift the chest, we lift the legs. We're pointing back through the toes. And again, the hands can just be gently laid at the sides here. And come down whenever you would like. And if you're staying up, we'll try to get about 2 more breaths in. And 1 more. Good. We'll lower down. Choose a cheek. Let the body soften. Stay with the breath. Good. Then we're going to bring ourselves, again, more centrally aligned. We're going to open up the chest just a little bit here. So what we want to do is extend the right arm out to the side. We're going to roll ourselves up onto the right side of our body here. So you could bend the left knee and just place it to the mat on the quadriceps side of your leg. If you've got space to come further, we would bring that leg around to the back side, so the hamstring side of the leg here. And then your left hand can either be down on the mat for support on the chest side of your body, or you could bring it around to the back. If you don't happen to find that this position gets you much of a stretch through the front of your chest and shoulders here, what you could do as an option would be take this arm and slide it from straight out to the side up on a bit of an angle here. And it doesn't take much to put a whole lot of shift into the amount of sensation that you get. So play around if you would like. Don't go anywhere that the breath does not stay steady and smooth. If the breath gets labored, it's a good indication to come out of any posture. Two more breaths here on this side. And then we'll bring the hand from the back to the mat if it was not already on the mat. And we'll slowly roll ourselves down. Bring the right arm back by the side. We'll take a breath here, just letting the body relax. And then we'll set up the other side. So we're going to take the left arm, reaching it out to the side here. And we're going to roll up onto, roll up onto the outside of the left hip. And again, the right leg can bend and come to the quadriceps side, front side of your leg. Or if there's room for you to move, you can take that to the back side of the leg. Take the arm, it might be here for support, maybe comes around the back. And again, if you're not feeling that opening across the front of the chest and shoulders, just shift the angle of your left arm. And I'm sure you will notice it does not take a whole lot of movement to bring a different level of sensation to the posture. And 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And then we'll bring the arm back down. We'll slowly roll ourselves back down. We're going to bring the hands right underneath the shoulders here. We're going to push ourselves back into child's pose. Right, so we're just going to slide the hips back towards the heels, let the upper body soften over the legs, keep that connection to your breath, and just kind of melt here for a moment. And again, the arms can be out in front, they can be draped back by the sides, totally up to you. And then we're going to come up to all fours and make our way onto our backs here. So, however it is you would like to get there. Going to lie down with a flat back. And we're going to do a little bit of resistance movement here. So it's really, I guess maybe movement is the wrong word, but we're going to encounter some resistance postures. We're going to bend at the knees, we're going to bring the arms around, or the hands around to the shins, and then the action in the legs is going to be that of trying to push the legs away from the body, but we're holding onto the legs with the arms here. This is going to ground our low backs into the mat here. So we'll take a full breath in, and with the exhale, we'll start to push the legs up and away. And of course, we're holding on with the arms, keeping our breath steady. Just finding that balance between the two, the push of the legs, the pull of the arms. One more breath in, and with the exhale, soften. Then we're going to switch hand positions. We're going to bring the hands to the tops of the knees, just above the knees here, and then it's going to be like we're trying to squeeze the legs in, but we're pushing out with the hands against the legs. So we'll take a breath in, and with the exhale, we start to squeeze the legs in, and now we're resisting by pushing out with the hands. Again, just keep the breath smooth and even. Notice where things shift to and what is grounding into the mat. One more full inhale, and with the exhale, we'll soften. I'm going to change hand positions again. We're going to bring the hands to the outsides of the legs. It's as if we're trying to open the legs out to the sides, but of course we're squeezing in with the hands to keep them from moving. So again, deep breath in, and with the exhale, we start to push the legs outward, and we're squeezing in with the hands. And again, we notice where the shift is in our backs and what is being pushed down into the mat. Keep the breath steady. One more big inhale. And with the exhale, relax. And then we're going to do the opposite here. So we're going to try to squeeze the legs in toward one another. And then you can either cross the arms over and push out on the inner knees to keep the legs from coming together, or you can just grab a hold and kind of pull the legs apart. So totally up to you which way you'd like to resist the movement. But we're going to take a breath in and then squeeze the legs in, and we're resisting that squeeze inward by either pushing on opposite knees outward or pulling out on the inner knees here. Keep the breath even and smooth. And one more. With the exhale, relax. Draw the knees in a bit closer to the chest here. Wrap the arms around. If it feels good for you and you want to rock from side to side here, go right ahead. Maybe rolling in little circles on the low back. Maybe not moving at all. That's fine as well. And then we're going to commit to a reclined twist here. So we're going to let the left leg drop down straight to the mat. We're going to hug the right knee in toward the chest. And we're going to back off of that hug a little bit. And then we're going to roll up onto the outside edge of the left hip, letting the right leg come up and over. Let the right arm come out to the side, acting as a bit of an anchor or a counterweight. The left hand left arm could come out and sort of mirror the right arm, making a T, or you could keep this hand gently connected to the outside edge of the right leg. And if you're doing that, just do so softly, right? We're not trying to pull this leg down or crank anything over. We're just lending the weight of the arm to the weight of the leg, trying to keep the upper body down, letting the body get real soft here. We maintain that same steady awareness of our breath. And you can gaze upward. You could drop the gaze over the right shoulder. You could have your eyes closed and just gaze at the backs of your eyelids, I suppose. You don't have to look any particular place. And with an inhale, we'll bring our backs back down to the mat. Draw the knees in. Wrap the arms around. Again, a little gentle squeeze here if it feels good. You could, of course, rock from side to side, maybe rolling in little circles. Perhaps staying completely still is what feels the best for you. So take the option that feels good. And then we're going to go to the other side. We'll let the right leg drop down, gently squeezing in on the left leg. And with our exhale, rolling up onto the outside edge of the right hip, letting the left leg come across. The left arm comes out to the side. And again, the right arm can come out, kind of mirroring the left, or the right hand can stay connected to the outside edge of the left leg, softly, right? The body eases. And keep that same awareness in the breath. And again, the option to shift the gaze over the left shoulder, and you can gaze upward, eyes closed, whatever helps you stay connected to your breath. And 2 more breaths on this side. And 1 more. And with the inhale, we'll bring our backs back down to the mat. Draw the knees in 1 more time. Gently squeeze. If it feels comfortable for you to rock, we'll rock. Maybe roll, maybe neither, maybe a little bit of both. Then we're going to let both legs come down here as we make our way into our final relaxation posture. So not a whole lot of effort to be put out here. In fact, virtually none. We want to let the body get as soft as it can. The breath slides back to a normal, everyday pace and depth. We don't want to check out to the point of forgetting where we are and what we're doing. We want to be aware of our relaxation here. There's no effort. So we can let the hips get real soft. And we'll let the legs relax. And the feet will just get taken to wherever gravity is taking them. And the same through the shoulders. Shoulders get real loose, letting the arms relax so the hands can soften. base of the spine to the base of the skull. Just letting each of the vertebrae get a little closer to the mat. Let the face soften, the jaw relaxes. You are, of course, welcome to stay in this final posture for as long as you would like. So if you have the time, feel free to linger. Otherwise, we're going to begin to wiggle our fingers and toes around just a little bit. And then we'll move a little bit further into the hands and feet. Maybe circling the wrists and ankles a little bit. And then we'll stretch the arms out overhead and give a nice big stretch from your fingertips right down through your toes. And then soften there. We'll bring the knees in toward the chest one last time. Wrap the arms around. And again, if it feels good to move, you're welcome to rock from side to side. Or perhaps make little circles or little half circles. And then we're going to roll over onto our right side here. Maybe make a little pillow with your hands. And just rest. And when you're ready, use the hands and arms to press up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that might happen to be for you. And we'll bring the palms together, let the fingertips connect to one another. The thumbs can rest gently against the center of the chest. We'll just take 3 deep breaths here. So nice full inhale and exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. You can resume a normal, everyday breath pace here. Thank you very much for making this practice a part of your day today. Namaste. Well, if you found this practice helpful, we would certainly love to hear about it. Drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you liked or what you'd like to see more of. And of course, we would appreciate it if you'd hit the little like button. That is always encouraging for us to keep on keeping on. We'll see you next time.